Hello, leopards, and welcome to your Big 6 lesson conclusion given to you by me, Sierra Mansker, or as you call me, Miss Mansker, your librarian. So to recap, I'm Miss Mansker, your school librarian, so you get to see me at least once every other week when you come with your reading class, but other times as well if you come before or after school to see me in the library. The purpose of this is to set you up for success, to give you a model for information literacy to use when you're researching or accessing information and how to organize the information that you find. So if you could take a quick second to look at your lesson handout, you can find the lesson handout in our Google Classroom. So to get to our Google Classroom, you would go to Google Classroom, like the little icon like you normally would, then find the library one. It says library on there. And this is going to be the newest assignment that was added, and it'll say Big 6 lesson handout. There are 2 pages to this handout. On the first page, it just kind of gives you a summary of each of the steps and shows them in order. And then on the second page, there are resources there, so other articles or other online resources for you to look at to get a better idea if you still need some help. If you see that there are words that are underlined on that second page, that means they are clickable. So if you just click on them, even if you don't see the little cursor change into like a finger pointing instead, you can click on it and it will take you to a new resource. So let's dive in with a Big 6 step number 1. It is called task definition or define your task. In this step, this is when you're going to identify exactly what you're going to research. To be able to identify what you're going to research, though, you need either your assignment prompt or you need some sort of starting point that will give you an idea of where you need to go. Once you figure out like kind of the area of what you want to research, then you have to pare it down to where it can be a little bit more specific so you're not over inundated with just a ton of results or a ton of information. But you also want to make sure that's not so narrow that you can't find multiple resources. Double check and make sure that you align your topic, your chosen topic, with whatever your goal is. And most of the time, your goal is a given assignment. Once you have double checked that your goal is aligned with your topic and your topic's aligned with your goal and that you have a pretty substantial topic that will give you enough resources, not too many, but not too little, then you're ready to start researching. The second step of the Big 6 model is information seeking strategies. Basically, you're going to decide where you're going to find your information. Are you going to find your information in books? Are you going to find them in newspapers, in articles, and magazines that are printed? Or are you going to use online resources and databases? There's no wrong answer for this, and you might come back to this step later to reevaluate what sources might be better or the different types of medium of sources for you to use in your research. Now that you've decided what you're going to research and what mediums you're going to use to research, now is when you begin to find those information sources. So for step 3, you're going to start to look through the information and find resources that are either online or in print that are in line with the information that you need based on your goal. So you have to always think about your goal and think about what information you need to adequately address what the goal is given your topic. Once you've found information that addresses your topic, now you're in step 4. So this is all about your use of the information that you found. So this is when we start to take notes of information that is specific to our goal. We might evaluate or reevaluate the source on its relevancy to what our task is. It might be a great source, but it might not hit what we need it to hit for our assignment. So we're really thinking critically about this source that we're using and whether or not it's a good fit for us in this assignment. And we are considering that we might have to repeat some earlier steps. After we've gone through all of the information that we can find, we might decide that we need to reevaluate where our topic is and maybe change it to redefine our task. That's step 1. We might again choose that we want a different type of information. So we might revisit step 2. And then we also might say, I think that I'm not looking for information in the right spaces and places. Maybe I need to change up my strategies, and that would be step 3. And if you need help with your strategies, always reach out to me or one of your teachers, because we can help you with those word search terms, and that might be what's hanging you up. Once you have gotten all of the notes that you need to create your research project or to obtain your goal and task, now is when we reach step 5, which is synthesis. So we have 3 big things we're going to do here. We're going to organize, we're going to design, and we're going to create. So the first thing is organize. So we should have plenty of notes from all of the sources that we've looked at that are pertinent to what our task is. So we're going to organize all of that information, because we are trying to make sure that the flow of our project at the end of it goes very well. So we're going to organize like-minded things together, and you'll start to see how those automatically begin to build your paragraphs. One thing to remember here is that as you're organizing your notes, make sure that you are citing your sources. Make sure that that happens. Once you've organized everything out, now is time for the design of the rough draft. I'm not saying that you have to write every little thing out. It is very helpful to do that because you can review it and make your edits. But if you want to do more of an outline situation, you can do that. But we're wanting to have at least one prototype that we're going to reflect on before we turn in the final draft. So once you've done your draft, then you can start creating that final product. So this is going to be the final research masterpiece. This is the synthesis. This is a combination of everything we've done so far. And last but not least is step 6. So this is where we're going to evaluate, and I'm putting cite on here again because that's how important it is. So in this step is where you are evaluating the resources again. Did you meet your end? How was the process for you? And what does the end product look like? So I've got you some quick 3 questions here to help you with that. So you're going to ask yourself, is my project organized? Did I stay on topic? And have I cited all of my sources? A 4th one that I would also encourage you to do that I didn't have on here is, are all my sources relevant and valid? So make sure that you are staying with that relevancy and valid. We want to make sure that we are giving information that is pertinent to what we are trying to research. So to wrap it all up, the Big 6 information literacy model is to help you with your research process. There are 6 steps to this process, and they are listed out here, but I'll say them again so that way maybe you'll remember them since you're hearing my voice. The first one is we're going to define our task definition. We have to know what we're doing. The second one is information seeking strategies. Now that we know what we're doing, we're going to decide how we're going to find the information. Where are we going to look? The third one is our finding information sources. So now that we know where we're looking, we got to find those information sources. So we know what we're doing, we know where we're looking, and now we're identifying what we're looking at. Now that we've identified what we're looking at, we're going to decide how we're going to use that information. So what is important about what you're looking at, and how are you going to use it? Then synthesis is how we bring it all together to create that product. And then the 6th step is all about evaluating your product to make sure it meets all of your requirements, as well as how the process of these 6 steps went for you. Where were you struggling? Where do you need help? What went really, really well? And what can we do better in the future? If you ever need any help at all, there's my email right there. You can email me and I'll get back to you, maybe partner with you during the school day, pull you out of class. But the library is also open 30 minutes before and after school, and you're welcome to drop in, and I'll help you anytime. I'll see you next time. Bye.